40 at midnight.
What are we top 40ing? We should do a top 10 again. I feel like it's been so
Oh, yeah,
long.
we haven't done a top 10 in a long time.
If you got any suggestions of a top 10, does anybody have any suggestions? We need some ideas. We would do them all the time, but we can never think of anything
It's
cool.
getting harder and harder to think of things.
We've done so many.
We've done quite a few. This is our 157th episode, Christopher. And when you think about...
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's a thing, man.
So how many hours of content is that? Because it's actually more like 160 episodes.
Yeah, it would be at least one. It's actually 158.
No, they're... Okay.
I'm not including Patreon stuff.
Let's call it 160 times 2.
Okay, yeah, at least times 2 as an average. I mean, that's 320 hours.
That's some good math right there.
Yeah.
Jerry, I don't know if you know this or not, but he does maths good.
Bit of a math guy.
Were you on the math team?
No, never did that. Nope.
You never... I was on the math team.
No, I never did the math team.
I wasn't even good at math.
Listen.
They were so desperate for people. They're like, you,
listen,
over there.
I'm not some kind of nerd, okay?
They're just like looking on it. They're like, hey, you kid.
Hey, you guy over there.
You want to be on the math team?
Hey, you go to school here?
Hey, Gabagoo.
Come over and do some
Get
maths.
over here. You want to do some maths?
Come on.
No, I don't want to do maths, mister.
Yeah, you're going to do the maths.
You're going to do the maths.
You're going to do the maths.
You're
Listen.
going to shut your mouth.
Yeah, you better shut your mouth before I shut it for you, kid. Let's do the maths.
But
I was not on the math team.
I wasn't particularly good at math, but I did the math team once. The highest I got was what's
calculus.
I didn't get to calculus.
No, me either. I didn't do any of that.
I did
algebra 2.
Was that before or after trigonometry?
Oh gosh, trig is after algebra 2.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely did trig.
Oh, I didn't do that.
How many years of math did you take?
I literally stopped after algebra 2.
Okay, I took trig and I think I took pre-calc too.
Mrs. Meyerhofer, I had algebra 2 for, and after that I was like, I don't need this anymore.
Peace out.
Yep, don't need this.
See you later, math.
Do I have to do anything else? And Mr. Jackson's like, no, you don't need it anymore. I was like, all right. Well, anyway, I'm not doing that.
I got suckered into being on this math team one year, and I actually did pretty good.
Listen, when I was in school, I was not much of a...
Student?
Yeah, I wasn't studious.
Studious.
So I liked school, and I was decent in the classes that I took. I got decent grades, like very average, like B student. But I was not going to do any more than what was asked of me, you know? So any of these things called trig or like extra classes, whatever, like are above and beyond the base layer of what you need, wasn't doing
not for you.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
I needed to be in the commons creating a show.
Just being look at
I was
shucking and jiving and
yeah. Interpretive dance, just telling jokes,
class clown,
creating characters. That was me.
Yeah.
You know, I had to be, the light of your life, really. That's what I was trying to be.
Light of my life. Show me the way. I don't know. I made that up.
And that was number 40 on America's Top 40.
Vic's here. Anyone here? Yeah, Vic, I'm here. Where's everybody else? People are listening, but nobody's commenting. Anyway, that's enough about trigonometry. Nobody cares about that. Oh, but I did. When I got to math in college.
I mean, some people think about that.
When I got to math in college.
Have you ever heard of NASA?
Is that National Association of Secret
Associations?
Associations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they love trig.
But I was so bad at math in college that I had to take the first couple math classes. First of all, I didn't test out of like the remedial math. So I didn't take that.
Right.
And then because I went to Seneca High School.
I couldn't get into those schools. I don't even know how people got into U of I or any other school. I was so dumb.
You got to be a genius.
I was so dumb. When I was a teenager, I was dumb.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a lot smarter now.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
it may not look like it.
When I was a teenager, I thought I was smart, but then you realize that teenagers are idiots.
Oh, teenagers are
Have
so
no idea
stupid.
what's going on.
They are stupid little babies that I want to like just point my finger at and tell them how dumb they are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's not generally accepted in public when you do that, but they need to know.
They need to know.
They need to know.
They need to know.
I don't think it's done well enough to show teenagers that they're dumb.
You got to put your boot on them.
You really got to
Smash them down a
You
little
really got to bring them down a peg or two.
Vic says, remember our Michigan State visit? I do. For a brief period, I was thinking about Michigan State. I went to, you want to hear about my journey?
Of course.
When I graduated high school,
Does this involve Steve Perry,
Steve Perry.
lead singer of Journey?
No, I know who Steve Perry is.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't feel like you know.
You remember the
him like
movie
I do.
Basketball?
Of course.
That's what they use. They get when they're shooting. They go Steve Perry.
Yeah. Your sister dated Squeak.
That is a phenomenally underrated movie.
Unbelievable. It's not family appropriate.
Oh, no.
At all.
Now.
What?
I said, I was going to say, oh, no, but I said, now.
Niet. Niet. That's Russian for no.
Today, Sky was working on her homework, and it was like number sequences. And
So like 1, 2, 3.
But it was like 19, 29, 39. What's the next one? So Marley was helping her, and she's like, well, what's the last number on each one? And she goes, 999. And I'm like,
And then she started like throwing her hands out in front of her.
I just started dying laughing. And Marley's like, what are you doing? I'm like, she sounds like a fucking Nazi, dude.
999.
And Marley's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, 999.
Oh, that's awesome. So you told her like not to be a Nazi, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right.
No, anyway, when I was getting out of school, I was planning on going to film school. Did you know that?
I
tell
did
you
know that. Yeah, I knew this.
But there was only like 2 film schools.
Turns out we've been around each other a little while.
There was only 2 film schools really in the area. One of them was Southern Illinois University, and one of them was University of Iowa. So I went and visited those 2 schools, and me and Vic went to Michigan State.
Carbondale.
And I didn't want to go to any of those schools, so I ended up, I'm like, well, I'll just do graphic design. So then I went and checked out Iowa State because they had graphic design. U of I didn't really have that. And,
But you did do it.
well, so anyway, then I decided I just want to go to U of I because that's where all my friends are going. So they didn't have any of that, so I'm like, I'm going to just do broadcast journalism.
Oh, okay.
So that was the plan. But at U of I, the College of Communications, you can't apply till your junior year. So you take 2 years of regular gen eds.
It's crazy that they don't have that at such a large school.
It is. But then you got to reapply to the College of Communications for journalism or advertising. So I applied and I got in, which is it's really hard to get in. You have to basically have like a 4.0.
Yeah, you really got to do some under the table stuff,
Communicating.
if you know what I mean.
So, but then I ditched journalism because I realized that was a complete dead end.
Yeah, I ditched all of that.
And so I did the advertising instead because they had graphic design in advertising.
Oh, they had the graphic design for the advertising.
Yeah.
And
But what a joke of a major.
That's
it
done.
was a complete waste of everything.
it's done wonders in your career.
I mean, there's some stuff that helped me build a business for sure.
Yeah, and a website.
I didn't learn how to do any of that there. I learned how to do that.
What is
stuff
graphic design?
the
then?
good old
What is
fat-
it? Like,
Really?
is it like just shapes on a paper?
It's like
it's like
digital art, right?
right. So it's like like the graphic art that you do in Word,
Yeah.
Like
a
that
little
stuff?
more involved than that. But
like with the
yes.
bubble letters.
But
and
turns out
Comic
it's a
Sans.
complete waste of time because now you can hire basically any graphic design you want done for $5 on Fiverr.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
But no, it was a complete waste of time. But, it was a fun 4 years.
Wow, what a loser!
Yeah.
What a joke that was.
I just went there. I got
That
a
is silly.
piece of paper, and that was it.
I don't have that paper.
Doesn't matter.
Look at me. I'm still kick ass.
Even better than
I didn't go
Kick-Ass.
I didn't go to collage.
What a weird conversation to even be talking about. So let's just move
What?
on.
It's just college. I mean, that's the That's what people are talking about these days is like whether or not you should go to college.
You want to talk about that?
And the argument of doing like a, you know, a union job or, you know, like
I think when I went to
trade.
college, it was.
I feel like trades are being pushed more now than they ever have, and I don't disagree with that.
When I think I was right in the wheelhouse of that generation that got sold the bill of goods because when we were kids, they were
both
like
were.
college.
Yeah.
There was no other option really.
Well, I felt like I literally felt like I was letting people down, even though my parents told me they're like, we don't care if you do it or not. Like, we want you to do what you want to do. I was very supported in that. But in society, like with my friends, I still felt like I was lesser than what my friends were because they were going to big colleges.
Yeah.
You know, and like the path that I took with the military and coming back home and then just starting
a career.
I felt like was wrong almost.
Well, we got fed that, shoveled into our heads. And when I went to college was a joke. I mean, it was easier than high school. Like it was a complete joke, I thought.
Really?
And so now I think you got to look at it. And that was even back then when tuition was $4,000, $3,500 a semester.
Yeah.
And now it's 10 times that. It is.
Yeah. Now it's $15,000
$1,000
a semester, if not more.
Completely unnecessary. I wouldn't even advocate my children to go to
I don't
college.
think I would either. And that's sad to say because I do feel like you can
If they want to go, that's fine. But I'm not going to push them to it.
Specific jobs.
If you want to be in medicine or engineering, go to college.
You got to go to college, yeah.
And
you have to do that.
And if you're in those fields, you'll do very well in life.
Correct.
And certain other career paths too in college is great. But don't do it because you can go back when you're a little older if you want to, if you need to.
Yeah, you absolutely can. I know a lot of people that have done that. And now looking back on all of that, I mean, I haven't become like incredibly wealthy by any means, but I've been successful enough to look at.
You're well above average.
Right, but that's what I mean. I've been successful enough to look at college and see where I'm at now. And maybe it was luck. I don't know. You don't know how your life's going to pan out. But looking back at it and not having any
White
college
privilege,
debt.
probably.
Sure. Yep. That's exactly
That's
what
probably
it is.
what it is.
Yeah. I just don't, not having any of that college debt, and hearing people talk about college debt so much and how much it's like the forefront of everybody of our generation and beyond's like life. They are indebted to
You want to know?
that
You want to know a
payment
crazy statistic?
for most of their life, and it's everyone we know.
You want to know a crazy statistic though? The vast majority of college debt is owed by people who never finished college.
That's insane.
The vast majority. If you want to know what's an insane statistic?
I mean, a lot of people can't finish college. Okay, that's fine. Or they didn't do one class that could get them a degree, or like little things like that. It's not like they failed out. A lot of people don't just fail out.
No,
it's just that they don't finish one or two classes, and they need like 2 credit hours to get their degree.
You know what?
But they still have this $60,000 debt hanging over, $100,000 debt hanging over their head because of it.
You want to know something else crazy?
Insane.
A significant amount of the college debt is from online universities, like University of Phoenix.
Well, honestly, that doesn't shock me as much as you'd think because it's so accessible now.
And people, they do a good job of advertising that you're going to be successful if you go here when it's like the worst college you can go to.
I've got a great story about University of Phoenix.
It's not even an accredited university. It's not even a real school, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it's accredited.
So Shaq, I saw it on TikTok.
He's a guy.
He's one of the greatest centers in the NBA history. He was telling a story where he went into a business meeting. He had 2 of his lawyers with him. It was him, and they were meeting with this company, seeing what kind of deal they can work out. And they came in and immediately shook his hand, like, "Oh, how you doing? Like, hope you're doing well. Like, hopefully we can figure out, something for our business and get together." And he said, as soon as they did that, and shook my hand, they immediately looked at my lawyers. He's like, and they were looking at them to get like feedback. They didn't wait for me to respond. They just like looked at them for feedback. And he said that whole meeting, I realized they didn't think I knew anything. Like, I was just there because I had money. He said, and the lawyers were going to do all the work for me, and I wouldn't know what they were talking about. I was just like a puppet in the corner waiting for them to figure things out. He's like, from that day on, I realized I'm not going to let this happen. He said, so they left that meeting, and he got on University of Phoenix's website and applied for their master's course in business. And he wanted to do an in-person class. And they called him, and they're like, we don't do in-person classes. He said, but that's all I want to do. He's like, I'm going to come to your college. He's like, and I want to do an in-person class. They said, well, we won't do an in-person class for less than 15 people. He said, so I paid 15 of my friends to get their masters. He said, I paid for 15 of my friends' masters, and we all went to college together. He's like, so I could get that one degree. I was like, that is insane.
Yeah, that's insane. But when you're
it's a really good story,
super
though. I think
rich
it's
and
like,
you have nothing else to do.
yeah, he wanted to get it, and so he paid for 14 other people to get their master's degree.
Why didn't you just go to a different school?
Apparently, he did not want to.
Vic says, just marry an engineer, easiest road. Yeah.
It is for you. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, Dirk Steele liked the stream. Hey, Dirk.
Hey, Dirk, what, you need to comment on something.
I want to break into this real quick. Do we have any Snarf announcements or anything like that?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I'm going to break into this. I came across this at Casey's today.
Snarf announcements.
It's not a Snarf announcement.
No.
Since we did that Mountain Dew review, we're not doing that again tonight, guys.
No,
don't
it's
worry.
just this one.
But it's a new flavor, mystery flavor, Mountain Dew Zero, and it's called Voodoo. Do the voodoo. So
Voodoo.
we're going to try this one out. Limited edition. Do you think it's a Halloween thing?
Yeah, I do think it's a Halloween thing.
Why? Do you think voodoo is Halloweeny?
It's got pumpkins on it.
There's no pumpkin
The
on
purple
this?
pumpkin.
Oh, there is a pumpkin on there.
Look it. It's clearly, look at that. All right. Oh, which way? That way. It's a purple pumpkin.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a try.
Okay, let me sniff test.
That's
Yeah.
disturbing.
That smells like a blue one. I mean, there's a little bit of flavor there, but
What's the flavor?
it reminds me of one of those blue ones that we drink, like the ice or like cool ice or something like that.
It tastes like,
A snow cone,
yeah, it tastes like a snow cone.
like a mixed up,
Like a
snow
melted snow cone.
Yeah.
Snow cone. Dirk said, just got here, was chopping silage.
cone. You got dairy cattle?
He's got cattle. A lot of them.
Oh,
I don't think
didn't
he's
know
got
that.
any dairy cattle, though. Chopping silage. Yeah, that's about what you'd be doing around here because corn's wet. Although I know some people that are rocking and rolling. with
yeah.
some
As
drier
of
corn.
today,
David said voodoo is more of a New Orleans thing. Probably tastes like a hurricane.
yeah, it tastes like swamp water and
Well, that's
Hepatitis
honestly,
C.
I'm on David's thought train here because
Oh, I completely
when it said
agree.
voodoo, I'm like, that's not a Halloween thing.
yes, it is. It is a Halloween thing, but yeah, it is a New Orleans thing. It's like
Yeah, it's like mystical magic.
right, like Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, like a voodoo doll. By the way, I shared this
I'll put a needle in your tit.
picture with Jerry. Did I put it on our TikTok or anything? That Goo Goo Dolls picture?
Oh,
There's a picture
no, I
of the
don't think
two
so.
guys from the Goo Goo Dolls, and they're like older now, but they still have long hair, and they're kind of leaning forward, and it says like the Goo Goo Dolls look like if you stayed at with a lesbian couple at a bed and breakfast, and they just made you try like
can't remember.
kombucha or something like that, and
Yeah.
they're waiting to see how you react to it. Or almond milk. It was almond.
Almond milk, yeah, and they're like sitting on a ledge and like leaning forward towards you, but the way they're made up,
Looking very like interested in your
It's-
reaction.
yeah, it's crazy. I texted you back. I was like, there is nothing more accurate than that statement because it is very true.
I have seen the Goo Goo Dolls live. I saw
I
them
have
at the
not.
race at the racetrack. They were the band. Then the night before the race, there was always a band at the what do they call it? Where like all the vendors are set up on the outside. You've been to a race before, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that's called.
Well, anyway.
The parking lot.
No. Anyway, the Goo Goo Dolls headlined.
Cool.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
I saw Joe D. Messina at Chicagoland Speedway.
That's where it was, Chicagoland Speedway.
Oh, yeah. I've been there a lot.
Jody Messina.
Yep.
She's good. David said hurricane is a rum drink. Yeah, we know what a hurricane is.
We did, but I literally thought he meant
like Pat O'Brien's.
No, I literally thought he meant it tastes like a hurricane because we were talking about New Orleans.
Oh,
I thought it was like a
wondered why
really
you said that.
underhanded joke where it was like flooded houses and
Yeah, that
dead
was
people.
Real shitty.
I thought it was really shitty and dark. I was like, man, it doesn't taste like death.
Did you ever seen that movie, The Hurricane, with Denzel?
No.
Like the Bob Dylan song, like, this is the story of the hurricane. You know that song?
I do.
It's about a real life guy. Hurricane, Carter, I think Carter, was a boxer in like the
I don't remember him. Denzel did this?
Yeah, dude.
In a boxing movie?
Unbelievable movie.
I freaking love Denzel Washington, man.
You need to watch this movie.
I love that guy.
It's Reuben Carter.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Okay, Reuben the Hurricane Carter was a boxer in like the 1960s, maybe somewhere around like the civil rights era.
Okay.
And he was a pretty good boxer, up and coming. And one night he just basically gets pulled over by the cops, and like they said, like, you committed this murder. He was basically like a racially profiled.
Oh yeah.
And arrested for murder, convicted, and in prison, and like spent his life in prison trying to get out.
Really?
And finally got out of prison in like 80s or 90s, I think, after being in there for like a long time. And yeah, the story of that inspired the song by Bob Dylan, The Hurricane.
I thought you were gonna be like, then he got back in the ring.
He didn't. No.
And beat everyone up.
1990 film, The Hurricane. 1999 film, The Hurricane, starring Denzel Washington.
That's right in my wheelhouse, that time frame. I would have figured I'd remember that.
Unbelievably good movie.
Unbelievably? I can't ever believe how good of a movie it is with Denzel Washington in it.
Can we just do a top 10 Denzel Washington
really seems
movies?
silly.
You want to do that right now?
I feel like we've done that, haven't we?
No, we haven't.
Oh, shoot. You're putting me on the spot. I think we did. Or I know I've brought it up. I know I've texted you Denzel Washington. I know I have because
I don't think we've ever done it, though. If you look on Ranker, this is not right. This is not what I would say.
Top 20 best Denzel Washington movies on Paste magazine.
Here's what we're gonna do the Ranker right now.
Wait. Let me go back here. Ranker.
I got a list. We're just gonna talk about them. We're not gonna rank them. We're just gonna talk about their rankings. How about that?
All right.
Is that fine? Because it'll take us too long to figure it out.
I agree.
First of all, they got Manchurian Candidate at 26. That's a
better
movie than that.
Just silly.
This is already pissing me off.
That's got me so heated.
You know what?
I want to just
maybe
bury
we did do this because I remember talking about The Siege, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. They have it at 29, by the way.
Dude, we did it. I'm telling you. We talked about John Q. We talked about Training Day. We talked about, oh my gosh, so many.
Mo Better Blues.
No.
Whatever happened? I mean, he was like the man.
The one that Vertigo. Is it Vertigo?
No, but he was in Fallen, which is one of my favorite movies.
Deja Vu. Oh, it's a time travel movie. If anybody knows me, I'm a bit of a time travel guy. I like time travel. I like jumping time streams to different parts of wherever.
Oh, me too, for sure. What's your Let's do top 10 time travel movies.
Well, that's going to take a minute. We're not doing that right now, but.
Well, do we have to do our own? Or can we just do the Ranker?
Well, you can do that, yeah. I mean,
we got really nothing else to talk about.
Book of Eli? Holy shnikes. That was a great movie. Equalizer and Equalizer 2. I spent a whole 30 minutes talking about that one scene from Equalizer 2.
By the way, The Hurricane is listed number 16.
Okay. Well,
that's pretty high.
Good.
What
is the top 10? At least tell us that.
Okay, the top 10, they got Crimson Tide at 11. Come on. It's got to be better than that.
It is.
They got
Come on,
top
that's
10.
fine.
Malcolm X is 10. John Q's 9.
Oh,
Flight is 8. That's a great movie.
yeah, that's a really good movie.
We did talk about.
Yeah,
I remember
we
talking about
did.
Flight.
Yeah.
7 is Glory.
Glory's so
6
good.
is American Gangster.
Matthew Broderick is awesome in Glory.
6 is American Gangster. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
I wasn't either. It was too long.
5 is Remember the Titans. That's too high. 4 is Book of Eli. That's too high.
Yeah.
Training Day is 3. That should be higher. Man on Fire is 2. That's a good movie, though.
It's a pretty good movie.
1 is Equalizer. I don't know.
I don't like that list. I don't like that list. I really feel like Training Day should be 1. I don't disagree with Man on Fire being 2.
Man on Fire is pretty good.
John Q, I feel like should be higher. What was it?
Crimson Tide, The
Crimson
Siege,
Tide.
and Fallen should all be in the top 10.
All should be in the top 10. I don't. What was the football one? What's that called?
Remember the Titans.
That's a great movie. It is fundamental in my childhood of movies. Everybody talked about it. It was a huge deal. Don't think it should be up there.
David said Mountain Dew has done this mystery flavor in the past. Every year has been a candy. I'm going to Casey's now, and I'll make my guess. I mean,
this isn't a candy though. Like we said, it's like a melted snow cone. It's like
melted blue snow cone.
Yeah,
that's what it tastes like, but watered down
with the white too.
And this is the 0. They have non-zero.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it tastes.
All right, here's sci-fi.
Oh, Vic said grab me one.
Sci-fi.com.
David, grab Vic one.
Here are the 31 greatest time travel.
Vic said remember the Titans #1. Get out of here. Go buy Bitcoin and quit talking to us.
You know what? This is, and I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. It's because when we were in high school, that movie came out.
You went to the movies.
No,
the football team
did. The football team went to the movie to see it. I wasn't on the football team, right? So I'd come back like the next day, and I had mentioned at school, I'm like, oh, I went to see Remember the Titans. And one of the friends of mine that was on the football team is like, no, you didn't. I go, yeah, I did. How did you even get in? I go, I went to the movie theater. You can't just go see that movie. The only way you can see that movie is with a football team.
Oh, they literally thought?
Yes. This person thought that. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, that movie's only available for like football teams to go see. I'm like,
I think you're wrong, bud.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but you're not important.
I never forget that. All right, greatest time travel movies 31 ever made, ranked, not our rankings.
Not my ranking.
Number 31 is Idiocracy. It's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Number 30 is a better movie, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, that's a hilarious movie.
Number 29 is Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. So the other day,
I forget that some of these have time travel in them.
Netflix has like all the Austin Powers movies.
They do,
now.
yeah.
And I started watching one, and I'll be damned if I forgot how funny that was.
Really? I was really hoping you were not gonna go the opposite way, where you're like, ugh.
Totally held up.
Not
to
very
me.
good.
I don't remember which one I saw or was watching.
I need to watch them because I've heard that people have went back and were blown away about how funny it was, or forgot how funny it was.
Vic says Idiocracy doesn't get the love it deserves, especially as we watch it play out now in real life. Absolutely agree.
I 100% agree.
Mike Judge was on Joe Rogan recently, and I listened to it, and he talked a lot about that movie.
Do they really?
Mike Judge
is a genius. I think he travels through time.
He's great.
He's a time traveler.
Yeah. He's great.
Because of The Simpsons.
He was talking about Office Space, and they made that on no budget. Like, no budget.
You can kind of tell now.
Yeah, you can tell, but it still holds up as probably one of the best comedies of all time.
Oh, absolutely it does. That's the point. Like, you don't have to have a crap load of money to make a funny movie.
Right.
If it's good writing, the actors are on board.
I never got into Beavis and Butthead, though. That wasn't my thing.
My brother was huge into it. I watched a lot of it. It wasn't something that I would go back to, but I thought it was enjoyable at the time.
I'm going to tell you right now, number 28 on the time travel movie list, Victor, since he's listening, is going to love, because this is a movie that me and him watched on repeat when we were kids. And that movie is Time Cop.
Yeah.
Time Cop was where it's at.
Everybody loves Time Cop.
27 is The Time Machine, the old one. 26 is Flight of the Navigator.
I've heard of that. I don't think I've seen movie.
That. 25 is Back to the Future Part 2. My least favorite of the movies by far.
Least favorite, yep.
Number 4 is Time After Time. Number 23.
Time after time.
Not that, but yeah.
When you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the Mountain Dew mystery flavor. Celebrity Deathmatch. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
There's so much going on.
There is. Time Cop. Haha, yes.
Okay. Time Bandits. Number 22 is Army of Darkness. That should be higher.
Oh,
That's a
man,
phenomenal
yeah.
movie. Number 21, blah, blah, blah. Number 20, Back to the Future Part 3.
Yeah, the cowboy one.
It's good. Number 19, About Time. Number 18, Time Crimes. Number
It's
7.
so funny that they're all
They're all
time.
time. Number 17, Bill and Ted Face the Music, the newest one. Wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Shouldn't be 17 though.
No.
Like every movie we've listed before that is better than
Yeah,
that
I don't
movie.
think it should even be on the list, to be honest.
Number 16 is Star Trek, 2009's Star Trek. Number 15 is X-Men Days of Future Past. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 14 is Star Trek First Contact. That was the first Star Trek. I think when First Contact came out in 1996, that's like the first time I was ever like, oh, a Star Trek movie. Like I had watched the reruns.
So I knew Star Trek: The Next Generation, and after that, I didn't pay attention to any of it. I didn't know.
Well, that was a movie from the Next Generation.
No, I know. I understand that. I'm just saying I didn't pay attention to.
You don't remember the
movies that
cover
came
of the Star
out,
Trek movie where it's Picard's face and like the Borg?
I do. Yep.
That was
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, but I don't. I never saw that movie. I don't think. I still to this day don't think I've ever seen it.
Really? Number 12, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's probably one of the best Harry Potter movies, in my opinion.
I agree. That's number 3, right?
Yes. Number 4.
4. I think it's 4.
Number 11 is Source Code.
I don't know that.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
Number 10, I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't
Number 10 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I love the original Bill and
For
Ted.
sure. Number 9 should be higher because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. That's Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah.
Ned?
It is.
Ned Ryerson? Number 8, Looper. Really good
Looper's
movie.
good.
Yeah. That should probably be higher too. Number 7, 12 Monkeys.
Ooh, really love a good 12 Monkeys movie.
Number 6 is a movie that everybody loved, but I thought was overrated, and that's Arrival.
I liked Arrival. We had a big conversation about that.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it at all.
No.
I did. I thought it was pretty good.
Number 5 should very well be number 1, but they have it at 5, and that's Edge of Tomorrow.
It's
Or Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die,
whatever you wanna
Repeat.
call it.
Yeah. That is a great movie. I do believe it should be top 5. I don't think it should be number 1.
No, it shouldn't, but it's at 5. That's pretty good.
I think that's the right placing for that movie.
Okay. Number 4 is The Terminator.
Yes.
Number 3 is Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home.
Even though I haven't seen that,
I
would probably agree that a Star Trek movie should be up there.
I have, but it's not better than Terminator. But number 2 is Terminator T2.
Absolutely.
That's
It's one of my favorite movies of all
Back
time.
to the Future is number 1.
And I don't disagree with that. Back to the Future should be, somewhere in the top 5. I'm glad it's number 1. I'm not mad about it by any means. T2 has to be up there. It's one of my favorite movies.
I kind of want to do
ever.
my own ranking next. Maybe we'll do it next week.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I love Deja Vu. You got to look at Deja Vu, man.
Vic says
I don't
Edge
know
of
why that's
Tomorrow
not-
2 is underway. He also said Jean-Claude Van Damme movie marathons. I'm telling you, that's like all we watched when we were kids. We'd sit in Vic's living room eating like Ritz crackers and peanut butter and watch Jean-Claude Van Damme movies all night long.
I did all the time too. Bloodsport. Oh my gosh.
Is that the one where
Gets his leg broke.
What's the one? There's
That guy kills a guy in the ring.
Okay, I think
The
this
bad
is
guy.
the movie. So they're in the ring. They're fighting, and the one guy falls down on the ground, and his head's laying on the ground, and the other guy like
Stomps on him,
and the head goes like, "Dzz," and the blood goes. Shh.
Yes, that's Bloodsport.
Yeah. Okay. It's his brother, right, or something.
I can't remember. It was like a relation or a really good friend, a best friend or something, and then he got his leg broke from that guy in the ring. The first time they fought, and he trains hard. There's like a huge training montage of Jean-Claude Van Damme getting prepared to fight that guy again. And there's a scene where he's got his legs on 2 chairs.
No, that's from Time Cop.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I thought that was Bloodsport.
Well, I think he did that in a lot of movies. That
Did
was
he?
like his
That's
trademark.
like his thing.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, if I'm gonna do a movie, I gotta put 2 feet on a chair, spread my legs out to show everybody I can do the splits. I'm pretty sure that was in Bloodsport though, because it was in the training montage while he was getting ready to fight that dude.
Did you ever watch Jean-Claude Van Johnson?
No.
It's a newer show that he had where he played himself, but they make the joke about the splits thing all the time.
They do?
Yeah, because now he's older.
Of course, obviously.
Yeah, ran in 2016. It wasn't that bad, but basically, I think if I remember correctly, he plays himself, but as a secret agent, but also as an actor. I don't know. It's a comedy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Global martial arts star and actor Jean-Claude Van Damme stars as Jean-Claude Van Damme, a global martial arts and film sensation who operates under the simple alias Johnson as the world's best undercover private contractor.
Okay.
It's good.
Sounds
Not
so good.
It's not that good.
It sounds so good. It sounds so intense.
Vic said, which one did the tie each leg with a rope and make him do the splits?
Oh, maybe that's Bloodsport. I remember that too.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep saying it's all in Bloodsport because it's the only one that I vividly remember, even though I'm not accurately remembering any of it besides the bad guy. But I do remember that where they tie his legs up to they're like posts, and then they pull him up and he does the splits.
So
the chairs might be Time Cop. The posts might be.
The chairs were definitely well, they weren't chairs though. It was like countertops. He was like in a kitchen, if I remember correctly.
See, the one I remember is that he was like in this empty bedroom, and there was just 2 chairs. And he was sitting there with his arms crossed like this, with his legs split.
I don't know. There was Bloodsport. There's so many, like Kickboxer. I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah, it could have been in Kickboxer.
Universal Soldier was one we watched all the time. Body Count.
I watched
Hard
Kickboxer.
Target. We watched
Hard
that.
Target. I watched a lot, but Kickboxer I watched a lot.
Hard Target had nudity, I think, if I remember correctly. Street Fighter.
Of course.
The best.
Yeah.
Anyway, Legionnaire.
So you never found out which one he does the splits in?
I'm not going to look anywhere. Victor will find it.
Did you even look? No. Did you even try?
Not really, but I don't really care.
Our audience is wondering. I'm wondering. And you're the search and look 'em up guy.
What do you want me to look up?
Where did Jean-Claude Van Damme do the splits? I don't know. Type in ropes around Jean-Claude Van Damme's feet to do the splits. It's not hard to do.
He did it in every movie. In 15 movies, he did the splits.
Okay. Read them off. Every movie.
Here's a list of questions. How did he do the splits? Answer, by kicking. Were there any props used? No, just his snarl.
Okay.
I don't get it. Black Eagle, he did the splits. Oh, they got videos of all of it too. Bloodsport, he did the splits when he was meditating.
Yeah, on chairs.
Dude, I think it's Kickboxer is the one where his brother gets hurt in the ring and he avenges him.
It could be.
And
because I watch
one guy
Kickboxer all the
dies.
time.
I think that's the one, honestly. He does them in all kinds of movies, dude.
He's so cool. So he was the original Predator.
You've mentioned that before.
Well, I'm going to mention it again. And he...
Oh, the chairs. I found the chairs. That's Bloodsport.
Yes, I knew it.
That's blood sport.
I knew it was blood sport.
Definitely different than the time cop one, though. Okay. Anyway, let's move
Yeah,
on from that.
I know. Tried to tell
Yeah,
you.
Vic says every movie. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. I have a I have a little piece of information that I'm going to share.
A spring stretcher?
It's not really a spring stretcher. It's just kind of like making fun of a guy. It's the PGA Tour, right? So not a lot of people watch the PGA Tour.
No, nobody does.
I watch golf here and there. I used to watch it a lot more than I ever do now. Like back in the aught-9s era, maybe like the aught-12s,
Okay.
13s. Around that time frame, I used to watch it all the time. I was big into golf. And there's a newer golfer. He's been around like 4 or 5 years. Bryson DeChambeau. Big hitter, right? Clobbers the ball. Can hit it real far. And he's a pretty big man. He does a lot of weight training. They've had video of him like doing like speed tests of his clubs, like trying to hit the ball as hard as he possibly can. He's like all sweaty, just like ripping the ball as hard as he can into like a digital trainer, like a virtual reality trainer. And big guy. Anyways, he's out on the course, walking to his next hole, and they've got this thin little rope, that the crowd is supposed to stay on one side and the players are on the other. And he had to cross underneath this rope. So a guy holds the rope up and he's going underneath, and they accidentally like drop the rope, and it hits him in the face. And this man crumbles to the ground, like screaming, grabbing his face. There's a video of it. He's grabbing his face and he's like down on one knee, and he's acting like he got literally like stabbed in the back. He just in so much pain over it. He's grabs a towel from his caddy. He starts hitting the towel on the ground, like pouting and holding it to his face. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen on TV, because this man acted like somebody gouged his eyes out, stabbed him in a kidney. He's in so much pain. Nobody could ever understand. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it for a man that's like 6'1", 300 pounds, jacked, and this little nylon strap rope that just grazed your face put him to the ground. It's the funniest thing.
What's the purpose? Like, why was he acting like that?
He was hurt. I don't know. He was like throwing a fit, but he also acted like somebody hurt him.
Well,
I don't know the context of it besides him trying to pass under the rope, and it slipped and it went like down in front of his face, and he dropped. It was like you see people on playing soccer, how they like fake a lot of those
like
injuries.
LeBron.
Or like LeBron. It was the same situation, only in golf. And him walking through like four people. It literally looked like a little boy pouting.
Well, golf isn't the most manliest of sports.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't need to be manly.
No, I just mean like it's not known for its toughness.
Right. But also
although like Tiger Woods has like went through how many
surgeries and back problems and knee issues.
What we never talked about the beginning of the NFL season.
Oh, did we need to?
No, I mean I just don't know. You're a football fan.
I'm a big.
Are you a football fanatic?
No, I would not say I'm a fanatic at all. I only watch football because I do fantasy football.
It's the only reason I watch it too. Although I watch the Bears.
Yeah, I'll watch the Bears, but I'm saying
I had to shut off the last game though. That was a travesty.
That was not good.
That was not good. They're not.
They're
not a good team.
I really do only follow anything with the NFL because I have to, just because I'm obsessed with like wanting to win the competition.
Well, I'm on a fantasy league with Victor. Actually, I'm a lot better than him. But,
I'm sure
he's not.
What a
good.
joke!
He's really not very.
He
good.
seems like he wouldn't be good.
But I think he's in last place right now.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
is there any other place for him?
Yeah, I think
in a fantasy
I
league?
think I might have played him and like devastated him.
Yeah, it probably made him rethink his life choices.
It was a joke.
He's probably thinking about moving again
Yeah,
because of that.
but no, I've been enjoying it a little bit. I've watched the first Bears game was it was just like
The first Bears game was really fun to watch.
it's fun to watch because it was so insane.
It was intense.
It was like a lake.
So it really solidifies the
I was
fact that
texting you the whole time. I'm like, it's a lake. It's just insane.
It's solidifies why you need to get away from that stadium. They have no
Oh yeah.
like. How do you not have any drainage whatsoever in that field? None. I mean, it was raining hard. I get it. But a stadium of that size and caliber should really be able to handle that kind of water to where it wasn't pooling like lakes.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I was reading some stuff. It rained. It put down like 3 inches of rain in like a half an hour.
You couldn't see through the cameras.
No.
The camera lenses, as the fourth quarter went on, like from the third to fourth quarter, it got into the fourth quarter and it became like a fog in front of the lens, but it was just the intensity of
Condensation or
rain.
whatever, yeah.
No, it was just like the intensity of the rain. It was coming down so much you couldn't see through it. And I remember Grady asking me when we were watching the show, he's like, why can't I see anybody? I was like, it's just the rain, man. Like there's nothing we can do about it. They can't get a better picture than this.
I mean, have you ever seen it?
What?
The rain.
No, not like that.
Coming down the
wasn't-
road again. I don't
On
know.
sunny days, man.
Is it?
Yeah. Coming down on sunny days.
That doesn't sound right.
Hmm?
I want to know, have you ever seen the rain?
It's a legit question. Have you ever seen the rain coming down on sunny days?
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Next news.
Do you think a legitimate question is, have you ever seen the rain coming down the road again? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
What a lyricist you are. Golly. Oh, I wish you had a brain sometimes.
Coming down on a sunny day. Yeah, you're right.
I know.
It just goes to
why
see,
why do you have to look that up? I just told you the facts.
It just goes to
man.
tell you though, like I have been listening to that song my entire life.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
And you never knew it was sunny days?
You can just listen to a song forever and just not know the words.
And just believe other words to be true. That's why like A Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival, a lot of people thought it was a bathroom on the right.
Oh, nobody thought that.
Yes, that is the main thing. Everybody thought they were saying a bathroom
What about
on the right.
What about what do you think what's that song?
Walk like an Egyptian.
No.
No?
Blinded by the Light.
Oh, yeah. Wrapped up like a deuce.
A deuce?
It's a deuce. Everybody thinks douche. But it's wrapped up like a deuce. Another loner in the night.
What does that mean?
I have no idea what it means.
Wrapped up like a deuce. A deuce, in the sense, leans towards perdition, entire ruin, utter destruction of eternal death.
Oh, my gosh.
If so, the meaning is that someone has been blinded by the light and they are attempting to protect themselves by wrapping up like a deuce in the middle of the night.
Whoa, is this like nucleoid war?
I don't even understand what that means, like at all.
I don't either. I don't either. It just sounds so dark.
Blinded by the light may refer to the sheer excitement and energy of being a teenager.
Okay.
This is saying the lyric is revved up like a deuce.
Oh, that makes more sense. Revved up like a deuce.
At that time in life, you feel revved up like a deuce,
Another loner.
which
in
is
the
a
night.
1932
Or roamer.
Ford.
Is it the roamer of the night or loner of the night?
Listen, a deuce is also a coupe.
Deuce
a
coupe,
little deuce coupe.
You don't know what I got. Like,
Okay, so we don't know. We still don't know.
I know it's deuce for sure and not douche. Everybody thought they were saying douche.
Makes sense.
You know, which doesn't make sense. Wrapped up like a douche? What?
David is chiming in here. I bought regular and zero voodoo. I tasted regular first. I think it tasted like two things. First taste reminded me of a melted red, white, and blue firecracker popsicle.
That's what I was trying to explain. Yes.
Further tastes remind me of a Sour Punch straws. I don't remember those.
I don't know those.
Yeah, it does taste like that.
Yeah, the red, white, and blue. Those are what are those called?
Bomb Pops.
Bomb pops. It is a bomb pop. That's what it is. And you just keep chugging it down. I can't do it, man.
Jerry can definitely relate to being wrapped up like a douche, though.
Yeah, another.
So maybe everyone is saying it right.
Yes, Joel, you got me. That's my regular Saturday night.
Wrapping up like a douche?
Oh, man. It's the best. Have you ever tried it?
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, I'll have to teach you.
Okay.
How to wrap yourself up like a real douche.
Um,
You don't know what I like.
Song lyrics everybody gets wrong. I want to know. Oh, Tiny Dancer is one.
Tony Danza.
30 misheard lyrics everyone gets wrong. Okay. Tiny Dancer is number 1. Hold Me Close, Tiny Dancer. Everybody
It's
hears
Tony Danza.
But everybody knows that it's
I know.
not
I've
that.
never heard the Tony Danza one ever from people.
I mean, I've heard people say it.
Well, I've heard it was a thing. I haven't heard people say it, like when they were legitimately singing it, thinking it was the lyric. Because nobody actually says that.
None of these even make sense. Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap.
Yeah.
What people hear, Dirty Deeds and Thunder Jeep. No. That doesn't make any sense.
Dirty deeds in my Thunder Jeep.
It's
That's
gonna
correct.
be May.
It's going to be May, yeah.
Anyway. Google Potato Wave. Is this like...
David, what is this? This isn't something anybody wants to see.
I can't do that right now.
Potato wave.
All right. What do you got for news? Or
Well,
what do
I
you
only
wanna
have
talk about
one
here?
little piece of news. That's literally it. The show Invincible. You remember that show? The cartoon on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. I loved it.
Love it too. They finished production of season 2 a while ago, and they're literally halfway through producing season 3 already, and they still don't have a release date for season 2, and it's a travesty. Why are you producing so much content and not giving it to us?
So wait, say that all again.
Season 2 is done.
It's in the can.
It's done. They've had it done. And then they decided, let's just start producing season 3. So they're halfway done with principal photography and like art of season 3. And they're doing, like, they're starting to do voiceovers and everything, like recording the audio. And they still don't even have a set date on when they're going to release season 2. So Invincible came out around the same time that The Boys did. And they've already had 3 seasons of The Boys.
I don't remember. I think it came out maybe at season 2 of The Boys.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was right after season 1. But either way,
it's a great
been
show.
a while. It's been like since 2020.
Yeah, but everything got messed up with the pandemic.
Come on. This isn't a thing anymore. The president told us the pandemic's over on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
It means it's over. Quit blaming things on that. That's in the past, Chris.
Okay.
Also, other shows are producing content. Why can't you just give us season 2? It's done. Like, just put it out already. Or at least give us a date. I want to see this show, man. I think it's ridiculous.
I'm in for it. I can't wait for it.
Here's what I'm saying. I need to run these companies. Okay?
You should.
I need to be in charge of everything that we watch, and I need to make it more towards my taste. Everything we watch. Okay?
I mean, I think they're making a lot of stuff for our taste. It's pretty good. It's quite a time to be alive.
It really is. No, I'm not even going to I'm just going to make a joke. Not going to do it. I'll tell you after the episode.
David mentioned Pearl Jam, something to do with the potato wave. I'm going to tell you what.
Pearl Jam. Yeah, I mean, Pearl Jam's lyrics, nobody understands any of them.
Unpopular opinion. Can we bring back that old segment? Unpopular opinion?
Oh, yeah.
I hate Pearl Jam.
I know you do, and it's so stupid. That's so stupid.
Never got them. Potato Wave is a misheard lyric video of Pearl Jam's
don't
hit
enjoy
Yellow Ledbetter.
Yellow Lead Bear is a great
I did
song.
hear something about Pearl Jam. So Jeremy
Yeah.
is inspired by a real life event
Where
of
a
a
kid
kid.
blows up and beats his teacher up.
No, he shoots himself in front of his English class.
Well, I know, but he also like bit the recess lady's breast. How could I forget?
What?
And he hit me with a surprise left. My jaw left hurting.
Is that the lyrics of the song?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big Pearl
Arms
Jam
wide
fan.
open.
That's
Just
Creed.
like today. Oh, like the day I heard.
All right.
But he didn't get attention. No. All right,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
follow,
those are the lyrics.
I follow this guy on TikTok that puts out. Well, we follow this guy on TikTok that is constantly putting out like
because we're 35 and 38-year-old men that share a TikTok account. We're like the married couple that says like it should say like Chris and Jerry's.
It does say Chris and Jerry.
Facebook though, like we should share a Facebook and just like like somebody has to write us a message and be like, "Hey Chris, could you let Jerry know that I said this?" Yeah, we're weird.
Yeah,
man.
I love it. I love.
We got
sharing.
a weird relationship. It seems very like it seems deeply closeted.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? You know what that means?
What kind of closet?
Just deeply closeted men.
Oh, okay.
Where we just like would never say anything other than that we're straight. Because we're deeply closeted.
Yeah, okay. Well, speak for yourself. I'm definitely not deeply closeted.
Oh, you can be. You just never admit it.
Oh,
So being
okay.
deeply closeted means you'll never admit that you're an actual homosexual man.
Oh, okay.
You'd never admit that.
I wouldn't.
I know, because you're deeply closeted. Makes sense, right?
It's called a logic trap you got going on here. David said Chris, Jerry, Snarf.
Sending hugs. Prayers sent.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our TikTok page.
Check it out.
Check
Just
it
had
out.
somebody tonight tell me that they love our TikTok page.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
I
good.
think it's kind of odd, and I get it, right? But like all the other social media platforms, you can share other people's content.
Yeah, you can share TikToks.
Can you?
Of course. We
Like
share
on
'em-
your TikTok? No, like you can put it on your page. You know what I mean?
you can't do that.
Can't
No.
do it. It's odd that you can't do that.
Yeah, I never thought about that. You really can't. You can't share. It's a very personalized thing.
Yeah, it's like gotta
It's
be your
only,
content.
It's only your feed. But like on Instagram, you can't really do that unless you just copied a picture of somebody else's.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Same with Twitter. It's like you'd have to copy someone else's.
No, you can retweet people. So you're basically putting
that's
their
true.
content
Yeah.
on your page.
You're right. The retweet thing. But Instagram, you can't.
I just don't. I hate Twitter. I don't get why people still use it. It's
I don't
so
ever
terrible.
I don't ever look at it. I have not logged into my account.
At this point, Twitter feels
Jeez,
like
I
it's
don't
like
even
an
know.
old people thing.
It really is. No, I feel like it's more of a political,
It's
like
very
celebrity
Hollywood.
thing.
Yeah, it's a celebrity thing.
That's all it is, and it's to get those snapshots of, like,
Like upskirts. Oh no. When you said that snapshot, that's the first thing that popped into my head. I'm like,
Of course it was, you perverted old man.
um,
No, I was saying it was like its only design now is to get those little like snapshots of what people are saying to get them in the news, like some like very divisive quip from a celebrity that wants attention.
right.
So they post something on Twitter that will garner them attention, and then they will be able to be in the limelight again.
Yeah.
Like that's all it's used for.
And ag.
Yeah, and ag is big in
Why
it too.
does
but
ag
it's political
only
too.
exist on Twitter?
It's
And TikTok is coming up though.
and they're huge on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Ag is getting huge on YouTube for YouTube channels and stuff. I mean, it's all over. Honestly, that's really all I ever watch on YouTube is different ag channels.
Farm machinery, moving on down the road. Moving on down the road. Farm machinery.
This is a kid show.
No, that's our social studies teacher from middle school.
Mike Ryerson?
Yes. One of the kids in my class, anytime a tractor would go down Grand Ridge Road, he would like zone out watching it.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ryerson would walk up to his desk and go, a farm machinery.
No way.
I'm moving on down the road. Moving on down the road. Farm machinery.
He never did that in my class,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I really wish he would have.
Yeah, see, David said it. He knew it.
He knew that? I don't ever remember this. Well, he knew because you said social studies.
Oh, okay.
Farm progress. That doesn't make any sense, David.
Mike Ryerson?
Ryerson? Yeah, that was our social studies teacher.
Yeah.
Ned was his cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the guy.
Watch that first step. It's a doozy. All right.
I have no more news, man.
No more news?
No.
Then what are we
no.
doing for the rest of this show?
Whatever we want.
I didn't plan any. Oh, Farm Progress Show 1997. That's when that started. Probably, yeah. Probably would have been about the right timeline because I would have been in 7th grade, I guess.
Why would that have started in
8th grade?
97?
I don't know.
That was like...
Depends on what season it was.
So did he go to the Farm Progress Show and start singing that song?
No, because they were probably moving equipment up and down the road to go to the Farm Progress Show in Seneca.
Oh,
It was-
I forgot that was in Seneca that year.
Yeah, it was at Fry's. It was at Erica's place, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Fry Farms. David said hosted by Fry Farms.
Holy smokes, I don't remember that at all. I remember it being in the area and going to it.
I think it was in 8th
That
grade.
was a big deal.
Yeah.
I was in 5th in 97. So that's the year my brother graduated and him coming to my 5th grade class. I remember those things.
I remember.
I remember that.
All right. Let's do some what we're watching then, I guess.
Yeah, I've got some.
I didn't write anything down, so I'm at your mercy this
Okay,
whole
so
episode.
I have one show, or it's a movie. It's a Netflix movie, actually, that normally I would frown upon things. And this movie caught me off guard. I had seen people review it, some poorly, some positive. But when I first saw it, I was like, I'd never watch that movie. But then once I started seeing positive reviews, I was like, all right. I had nothing going on one day, and I turned it on and watched it. And it's called Samaritan. It's on Netflix. It's Rocky Balboa. What's his name? Why can't I think of his name?
It's
Oh my
Sylvester
gosh.
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. Holy smokes. So Sylvester Stallone is the main character. It's all about him, really, but it's about this boy, this young boy
who lived?
that lives in a lower income apartment with his single mother. He goes to school. He's doing some bad things. He's getting involved with like a bad group of kids, just to try to get money for his mom and him, really. But he gets involved with this group that is really bad, and they beat him up a lot, and he's doing bad things. But he constantly watches his neighbor across the apartment complex. So they're in a building. There's a building across from him, and there's like a playground area in between, like a commons area almost, like in between their two buildings. But their windows like face each other, and he sees this guy across from him. Sly is over there, Sly Stallone. And he watches them all the time. Well, Sylvester Stallone is putting himself off as a garbage man. He drives a garbage truck, just an older guy that, down on his luck. And he just goes to work and comes home. Turns out they're living in a world that had superheroes. And the superheroes were the Samaritan and then his brother, his twin brother, that was, and I can't remember his name. It was like Nemesis or something like that. But they were twin brothers. They had different ideals, and they fought each other all the time. So, like, his twin brother did the bad things, and the Samaritan did the good things to try to save everyone. And then finally, they had this, like, ultimate showdown on the top of this building. And the Samaritan and his brother went at it, and the building blew up and they both disappeared. Like you could see them, like they had video footage of them on top of this building, and you could see like the bad guy fall off and then the Samaritan like fall off towards him. And nobody had seen him ever since. And they disappeared and they were believed to be dead. But then there was also people that were holding out hope. A lot of them were like children holding out hope that the Samaritan was still alive, you know, and he's just in hiding. Well, then, so Sylvester Stallone's over there. Things happen during the movie. This is complete spoilers, by the way. I'm going to give away the entire movie to everyone
obviously
listening.
Dirk has seen it. He just said Nemesis.
Is it Nemesis?
Yeah.
Was I right on that?
Yes.
Yeah. Holy shit. I could not remember it. I just said like Nemesis. Anyway, so throughout the movie, you start to see like different powers that Sylvester Stallone has protecting this kid because they get relatively close. Like the kid goes over there, rummages through his house, steals stuff from him. He realizes things are stolen. He comes and gets them back. Anyway, so he starts protecting this kid from all of the bad things that are happening to him with this group of people that are around him. And this big group of bad guys end up finding Nemesis's mask and this axe or sledgehammer that he had. And the sledgehammer was the only thing that could cause harm to like Samaritan and like really mess him up. And the bad guys get that. So there's like this big fight, you know, everything goes on. He's protecting this kid. You end up finding out like, yes, you think like, yes, he's one of the superheroes. He's the Samaritan fighting everybody. And then at the end of the movie, after he saves everyone, you find out he's actually Nemesis, like the bad guy.
A way to majorly spoil.
Oh yeah, I told you I'm gonna completely spoil this movie. It was worth the watch though. Honestly, I thought it was.
It didn't sound that. I don't know. It doesn't sound that great.
It's a typical Netflix movie, and I'm normally always let down by them.
Yeah,
by far. This one didn't ever let me down. It was a really good like arc to get to like the main points of the movie.
But now nobody can watch it.
I don't
because you've spoiled it.
No, you can. You'll still get the same thing. Once you get to that point and find out who he is, you're like, man.
I already knew that because Jerry told me.
Didn't see that coming. I literally said spoilers. I'm going to spoil the movie.
I can't.
You can. You can go watch it. I know the ending is spoiled, but I still think you would enjoy it.
Well, I'm not going to watch it.
I think it's enjoyable.
I refuse.
It surprised me. I don't think I've ever had a Netflix movie besides Bright
Oh, Bright was good.
give me
Are they ever going to make
enjoyment.
Bright 2?
They're supposed to.
But then Will Smith slapped somebody.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's because of the names in their mouths. You got to get those names out of your mouth.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Right. You got to get those names out of your mouth.
Got to get them out.
Bright 2 could happen.
I hope it does.
Wash your mouth out of those names, bruh.
Oh, Dirk said I liked it, but I figured the Nemesis twist about 20 minutes in.
Oh, see, I'm too dumb for that, Dirk.
Yeah.
I'm way too dumb for that. And I was like, he's Samaritan.
Well, you didn't go to college.
I didn't.
Dirk
I
did.
couldn't make it into U of I. And I was like, this guy is Samaritan. He is the savior. I did that. I was sat there like this, moving my arms in the chair. He's my savior. He's the good Samaritan.
Yeah.
The whole time. And then he was the bad guy. And I was like, well, gosh darn it. You're the bad guy.
I watched the trailer for it, and I thought, it seems to me like Sylvester Stallone's getting too old for this.
Hey, it seems to me that you're too critical of everything that ever happens, and you have no enjoyment.
Is that for real? Because I'm mostly positive about almost everything I watch, and to the
No,
point
you're
where
not.
people get annoyed by it.
No, you are not.
Yes.
You're always opposite of me. I'm always positive coming out of a movie, and you're like, eh,
Okay.
pump the brakes there, Jer.
But usually you end up agreeing with me.
Yeah, after I.
So that means I'm always right.
You're always right on the negative side of things, never on the positive.
Dirk said Stallone is getting old. I noticed that
Always.
in the last Rocky movie, or not Rocky.
The dude is like
Rambo movie.
75 years old.
Was it Last Blood?
Nobody's saying he's young.
He's older than that. He's
78.
older. Yeah. all of.
Is he like Biden age?
If he is that 76, he's 76 years old. Sylvester
That's
Stallone.
insane.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's awesome, to be honest. Like,
He's-
that dude is 76 years old. He doesn't look 76 years old in that movie.
He's still pretty jacked. He does. You can tell the Botox in his face. That's the only
Yeah,
problem.
his face is jacked. I mean, it always has been. I mean, you know,
How old do you think Arnold is?
70, 72.
No, he's older than that.
Now he's 72.
He is 75.
I knew it. That's what I said.
Yep. He looks even younger.
He does. He looks younger than. Yeah, he looks way younger than Stallone. But Stallone still looks good for 76. Like, this is unbelievable. Man, I wish I had money.
Do you ever think,
You ever
how
think,
crazy
like-
it is that he was the fucking governor of California?
Arnold? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was during the whole, like, affair times.
Yeah, when he was driving around tanks, smoking cigars, and being the governor.
And banging his, maid?
Yeah.
Had another child with her? It's insane.
Yeah.
But that's the lifestyle, man.
It is. What else do we got?
Oh, that's about it.
That's
Oh,
all
no,
you-
no. I'm just joking. Let's see. Your face was like, is that all?
Well, I guess that's it for this week.
Well, have you watched anything, Christopher?
Yeah, I've kept up with House of Dragons.
Okay.
I've kept up with Lord of the Rings. I'm happy to talk about any of these things.
Okay. Have you watched any of the new episodes of a little show called Andor?
Is that out yet?
Came out yesterday.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. I didn't figure you would have. I'm a little bit ahead of you on most things, and I have seen one episode.
How many are out?
3.
Okay.
They dropped 3 all in one shot.
it
I
good?
watched the very first episode.
Is it as good as I think it's going to be?
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes. What I love about this show already, I've only seen one episode. I haven't seen the other 2. A lot of people are talking about it, but what I love about this first episode, and I feel like it's going to be a trend in the rest of the series because this is how they're playing it, is that they don't acknowledge anything about Star Wars. Like, this is a completely separate world almost than Star Wars. It's just held within the Star Wars universe. These are the people living outside of everything you've ever known of Star Wars.
Right, they're the regular people.
They are the regular people that are doing things that those regular people do. And it just happens to be, it's like a spy mystery, like, show. Like,
Right.
It's this one guy, Cassian Andor, where he's kind of doing his own thing, and
Is K2SO in it?
not yet. I haven't seen him. He wasn't in the first episode, but there are some like significant things that happen in the very first episode that are gonna set this like on a certain track,
A trajectory, if you will.
trajectory, if you will. Yes, because of what happens, because of like certain things that he does are going to set him off on a certain trajectory, like you said, that are going to be like where he's chased, like he's going to be chased by the Empire. And I like it. I like it a lot. I like how it's distant from anything This is not designed for like kids.
No.
This is not designed for teenagers even. This is designed for like 27 and up adults that have enjoyed Star Wars their whole lives, and it's like the underground of what of Star Wars, and I love that. I really do.
I mean,
it is so different.
Recently, I posted a bunch of TikToks about Rogue One.
Yeah.
And I rewatched it going before this, and man, that movie, I was surprised. There was a couple negative comments, but for the most part, people were
People were
in
love
such a
with
good
what you
movie.
said. Yeah.
I'm super excited to watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna be jumping in anytime super quickly. Hopefully, like maybe next week I'll get caught up on it, Andor. I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's 3 episodes
Tonight
out.
there's a new Lord of the Rings, and I'm like into that.
Yeah.
I'm into that show.
Yeah, and House of Dragons is
The newest episode of first of all, finish talking about that, and we'll talk about that.
Well, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know much more about Andor besides what I've read and the one episode I watched. So we got 3 episodes. It's gonna drop again next Wednesday for another episode. I don't know how many episodes are in this season.
12.
Oh, there's 12?
It's a lot, yeah.
Holy smokes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. I'm so sick of these 8-episode
I'm pretty sure
seasons.
it's 12. I saw the release schedule.
I want at least 10 episodes to a season.
12's a good number. 10's too short.
I feel like, and I was going to say opposite of that. I was going to say, like, I feel like 10 is a good number. Anything less than that is way too short. More than that, I feel like is absolute bonus. Like, I'm not going to.
Yeah. What did they have for Sandman? Was that 11? They had a bonus.
It was 11.
Yeah. Vic said,
oh, that's another little news thing I got.
did he delete a message? Oh, The Patient with Steve Carell. I've seen the trailers for that. I don't think that I'm interested in that. I mean,
Yeah, so I've watched every episode of that as well. That was the next thing I was
Really?
going to talk about, actually. Yeah. I enjoy it.
I didn't. I looked at it and I thought, yeah, it's not for me.
I talked about it 2 weeks ago.
You did?
Yeah. Right before David showed up.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
No, because you just didn't have the ability to listen to me
Okay.
at that point. So you just don't care about
Nope.
your co-host.
Not really. No.
Like we basically live lives together and you ignore.
We share a TikTok, for God's sake.
For God's sakes, we share a TikTok, Christopher. No, but I've watched every episode of The Patient.
And it's good.
The day it came out, I happened to stumble on it. I didn't even know anything about it, and I just saw a banner, and I clicked on it because I love Steve Carell, and it came out that day.
I hesitate to click on
So-
Hulu, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, I'd love to know why. I'd love to know why you don't click, Chris.
When I'm scrolling through the different apps, I get to Hulu, and I just sigh. I'm like, it's too much work.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's too much work. There's commercials.
Well, that is a thing.
The navigation is terrible. You can never find the show you want. Never. It's like they take what show you're going to look for and delete it off of the app.
Just bury it. We're going to put it as far deep on our app as you're going to
I have no understanding of how you can be watching a show, log out, log back in the next day, and that show isn't front and center.
I agree with you, but if you just click down like 3 tabs, they do have a recently watched.
Not always, and it
Yeah, they
doesn't
do.
always have the shit.
They always have a recently watched. I'm on
I gotta go
Hulu
into
relatively regularly.
Then I got to go into the little search thing. I got to
regularly.
search the name, and then sometimes you put in 4 or 5 letters,
Listen.
and it's still not popping up. And you're like, "What? The
Yeah.
Hulu?
Why aren't you intuitive enough?
You gotta get your AI."
I'm so pissed at your intuitiveness.
Yeah.
I have watched a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Dirk said, "When it loses my progress on a show, constantly,
I've never had that.
constantly happens."
I've never had that happen. This is a made up thing. You and Dirk are in cahoots with each other to just slander Hulu that I tag in every episode that we create.
You tag Hulu?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Why?
I tag Hulu because people search things,
Okay.
and those are search criterias that people might search. Hulu.
Well, fix your shit.
If Snarf Talk can pop up when you search Hulu, that's what I want to happen, Chris.
Dirk said that's a spring stretcher. I totally agree. That is a spring stretcher. That is the most obnoxious thing ever.
I would agree that the Hulu platform is lesser than.
For sure.
Okay, I get that.
What's the best one?
But don't
best platform?
No, don't take away from the shows because of that.
I want to know the best
Can
platform.
you let me tell you about The Patient first,
Best platform.
and then we'll talk about best platform?
No.
So The Patient with Steve Carell. This guy's trying to murder.
I don't want the whole. I just want to know if it's good or not. I don't want to hear it. I want to watch the show. I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
The first 4 episodes were very intriguing. I enjoyed them a lot. Now it seems repetitive. Like,
I'm just not into like serial killer stuff. It's just not my jam.
You don't want to murder people?
No. I want to love the world. I want to spread joy.
Like Coke.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that.
Great. You're writing down heroin. It's like, why are you writing heroin down? It's like, oh, speaking of cocaine.
I went to Casey's today, and they had this new Coke flavor, Coke Zero Dream something or other.
Dreamsicle?
Dream something. Weaver.
Dream Weaver.
And it is complete dog shit. It is undrinkable. It's so bad.
Of course you had to buy that.
Well,
why would you buy that?
It's a new flavor. I want to try it.
Nobody buys Coke. Nobody buys that.
It was new.
Nobody buys that shit.
Yeah, Dirk said like he didn't spoil Samaritan. Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely I did. I literally said I was going to spoil it. I said those words. This is complete spoilers, by the way. That's what I said.
Spoil the patient.
No, I'm not going to. I said that with Samaritan, though. I don't know why you guys are all surprised about this. I prefaced my explanation of that movie with, oh, by the way, I'm going to completely spoil this movie for you.
All right. Well, let's move on to something else.
I like The Patient. I think it's okay.
Should I waste my time watching it when Andor's out and all these other things?
No,
okay.
No.
Vic said, still one of the best shows ever. Travelers on Netflix. I keep reminding you till the day I die. I don't know why you're saying that because I've talked about the show. I watched the show.
I don't know this show.
We've talked about it at length.
Yeah, but
many times. I brought it up many episodes.
I don't listen to you. Like I'm listening to.
It's the show.
So in my headphones, I've got like this white noise playing all the time, and when I just read your lips.
When I talk, are you just waiting for your turn to talk? You just like shut it down and you're like, it's not my turn yet. Yeah, like that.
Well, so what I was saying is
Travelers is the one where people from the future get sent back into the consciousness of people right as they die in the present.
Oh boy, I really don't.
Shut up. We've talked about this.
I'm not joking you.
It's got the guy from Will and Grace. Will.
That guy?
Yeah.
I like that guy. He's a great actor.
It's a good show.
I'm not joking you. I know I'm being funny, but I really do not remember any of those conversations or the show.
People from the future figure out how to time travel, but they can only send their consciousness back. So, since they're from the future, they have a list of when people died in the past, and right as that person's about to die in an accident, they take over their body, and then they avoid the accident, and then they live as like a sleeper agent in that person's body in the present.
I'm sold.
With the goal is to stop whatever happens, Terminator style, to ruin the future.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's really good.
I feel like
now once you get into like season 3,
I feel like we missed a real opportunity to write that. Like,
oh yeah, it's
amazing.
An interesting, and then there's a whole secondary storyline because
that's a great storyline though. Like that.
Yeah, because it doesn't affect the timeline like the same way.
Right.
And then
you don't hear about this stuff. Like people don't.
Yeah, and then
this hasn't been written before.
And then they have rules that they got to follow that are very particular, and their overlord, the person that's like in charge of them, is like a sentient AI in the future.
Is that like a bad guy?
Well, no, but there's like warring factions from the future that are also coming back, and then they're fighting each other.
Oh, so there's like a world of people.
Yeah,
that are like basically infecting us before we die to try to control
the future.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Dirk said he voted for Travelers too. Travelers is a good show.
I gotta watch
It's a little procedural, but it's good.
That's fine. I mean, I'm going to watch every episode. So it's been out for a while?
It's been out for quite a while.
Huh.
4 seasons, I think, are out. I don't know when season 4 came out. Maybe that's why Vic brought
I
it up. Maybe there's a new
honestly
season
have never
now.
seen anything about it. If I did, I must have glanced over
No,
it. And
Netflix canceled it after 3 seasons. So it's good though.
well, that sucks.
Towards the end, I felt like it got a little repetitive. But anyway, let's move on. What's next?
The only other thing I had was Lord of the Rings and the whole dragon
House
thing.
of Dragons.
Yeah, the whole dragon thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I watched House of Dragons last night.
Wait, the fifth episode?
fifth episode.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Sorry.
what the fuck?
I looked it up last night and it only gave me season 4 or episode 4. It never gave me season or episode 5. And then today I went and looked and it was like episode 5 was out. But
And they
when I
didn't
got
do
on
the time jump. Remember when I told you how it was supposed to time jump?
I know I knew
Maybe-
there was no time jump, but
Maybe I fell asleep towards the end. Maybe they do at the end.
well, I saw reviews of the newest like Rhaenyra's, but they said they released it early, so it has to be next episode.
Okay. Well, we won't talk about that then. But Lord of
No.
the Rings is my jam, and
Yeah.
it's surpassed House of Dragons for me by a lot. I still like House of Dragons, no doubt. It's a great show, very intriguing, interesting, but it's not to the level of Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is an epic show,
I would agree it is an epic. What I would
and it's
say
getting
for
better with every episode.
but
too.
what I'll say for both of them is that they need to like
Speed it up.
speed something up.
I don't understand how Lord of the Rings is going to work because I think it's only 10 episodes.
What are they going to tell
We're
us?
like halfway through the season
This
and
is my
nothing has happened.
So this is my problem with it. I know you enjoy it a lot, and I get that. Like it is beautiful. The acting is great. The story is good.
The
it's
acting
just that
is so-so, but
I mean, it's just that within all of those things, we're getting nothing out of it.
I
They're
mean,
going nowhere.
I'm totally fine with the pace they're setting if you're going to
How?
give me 15 episodes.
But they're not. So you can't be fine with that.
My concern is that 10 episodes and then we got to wait 2 more years. So, which is going to happen.
2 years.
Probably.
You don't think they've already started creating like the second season, and
I don't know, man.
they had to have. They have to.
Well, I'll tell you what. The amount of money they spent. By the way, it's the most streamed show of all time. I think at this point, it's crazy.
You're making that up.
No, they showed the first stream between House of Dragons, which was huge, and Lord of the Rings. Obviously, there's a lot more Amazon Prime members, and a lot of people have Fire Sticks, and it's very heavily promoting.
Right.
It was like 35 million, like first day streams.
35 billion?
Million.
Oh, I thought you said billion.
There's
I
not
was
even
like,
that many people on the planet. Dude.
I know, but you could watch it multiple times.
That's true. 25 or 30 million first day streams. That doesn't include. But
That's
whatever.
insane.
I think I would agree. It's very slow, and I don't know when they're going to get to. They're not even really into the chunk of story yet that's going to drive the narrative forward.
No.
Which
so,
is interesting.
And that's my argument for both series, really, is that
House of Dragons is getting slow.
it wasn't at first, I didn't feel like, but now it does. It feels very stagnant. Like both of them.
The last 2 episodes, or the last episode for sure, which you haven't seen yet, really felt like it was.
Well, I even thought episode 4 was kind of like, I don't know, it was weird.
Oh, I liked episode 4 quite a bit.
It was weird. I don't like the whole, like, incest thing.
I mean, I don't think anybody you're not supposed to like it, or you're just not supposed. It's part of the story. It's not waiting for your.
Why does that have to be
approval.
part of the story? Like, why does that have to be a thing?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's set in a fictional universe. That's how we've talked about this. That's how kingdoms in the I was going to say United States and
No, England was like
England.
huge into the whole
and
like
France and all them places.
Oh yeah, all of them. Like there was a whole story about
Remember that one dude with a
king
messed
with
up
the
jaw?
chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the big chin and jaw. Like it's all because of incest. I don't like that.
No. But anyway, I would prefer. What was the last episode of What Happens? Oh, well, Numenor.
Numenor.
I'm in. It's
No, that wasn't the last episode. There's multiple after that.
Well, no, there's like 2 episodes in Numenor. So the last one, they're basically spoilers. Leaving
Yes,
Numenor.
right.
I'm super excited about this show. I think it's doing a lot of things right, and I don't understand why the criticisms keep getting leveled at it.
I threw away my criticism after realizing like I just want to watch Lord of the Rings stuff.
So Numenor is basically Atlantis.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's wonderful. I love seeing it. I love the way this is shot. Like where they spent the money was on cinematography and like getting everything to look absolutely beautiful all the time.
Yeah.
Because it does. The whole show does.
So who is the Meteor Man?
I don't know. I'm still up in arms about that. And I don't necessarily want it to be who.
Can we just say who we think it is? I think it's Gandalf.
I don't want it to be Gandalf. It can't be Gandalf.
I mean, it can be. It can be anybody.
No, it can't be. Gandalf wasn't in the Second Age.
They're not following the books exactly.
I don't care. You can't put him there. You can't put him there. He doesn't need to be there.
They can. They can do whatever they want.
Do you want that?
I don't care about the books. I do not care.
Why? Why don't you?
Bit. Because I don't care. Why do I care about the books? I didn't read them. I mean, I read the Lord of the Rings books, but I didn't read the appendices. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
But that's the same word for appendix? Yeah.
Well, appendix is one thing. Appendices is multiple.
What about your appendix in your body? Is that spelled differently?
No, it's spelled the same, but
It's the same word for like a resource of materials as a body part?
I think so. Yes.
And it's spelled the
Maybe
same.
one of them is with a C and an X.
So if somebody was born...
Wait, no, I think your appendix is with a DICS.
It absolutely is not, right?
I think there's one spelled with like a DICS and one is a DIX.
Dix?
Just CS. It's not CKS.
Appendix.
It's DICS.
No, it's not. No, it's IX. Appendix is a narrow finger-shaped pouch that projects out of the colon.
Okay, now no, an appendix for a book is the same way. It's a narrow shaped pouch full of stories off of the colon of the book.
I don't know. I can't figure out how to find that word for like the books, because everything just comes up with the body part.
Can't you search like book appendix?
Yeah, book appendix. That's great. That's great.
Is it that hard to figure out?
No, it's the same. It's spelled the same way.
That's weird.
So if you had multiple, like you were a freak born with 2 appendixes, would they be called appendices?
Yes. Yes,
Do you think that's ever happened?
No. No.
Dirk said Jerry is an appendix. Yeah. A worthless part in needing
They could just be
removal.
removed.
I don't think you fully thought out the depth of that. I don't think Dirk fully thought out the depth of that insult.
Yeah, it seems like I could be removed at any time.
Like at some point, you were designed for digesting grass, but through
Right.
evolution, it became unnecessary.
But you're very unnecessary to the content that is being
and
created.
you can only, by existing, you only produce risk.
The only
There's
reason
no upside to you.
The only reason we talk about you is to remove you. It's literally the only reason people bring you up is because you've been a problem.
But there's absolutely no upside whatsoever. It's
No.
all con.
It's always negative.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only reason we bring you up is because it is based on removal.
Dirk said a narrow pouch full of stories. That's why you're an appendix.
That needs to be removed. You've caused an infection, and we need to get rid of you. That's what he's saying. Thanks, Dirk.
He said, man, I'm a dick. Not that much of a dick, though. It's weird when you write appendicitis, that's with a C.
I knew there was a C in there somewhere.
What does this have to do with anything? Oh, I don't care about the Lord of the Rings appendices. I don't care about the Silmarillion.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Although I did
Silmarillion,
just buy on Amazon because I'm like, I have a old like copy
leather-bound
somewhere,
book.
but I couldn't find it, and I'm like, I need to get new copies. I want to read the Silmarillion, and I want to reread the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I found on Amazon this box set that has the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, and the 3 Lord of the Rings books, and they're all leather
bound, of course,
like soft leather, like a Bible.
Smell like mahogany.
And then they're in like a sleeve that is also like a leather holder.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool, and it was only
Sounds
like $20.
No, it was not.
So I bought this thing, and I'm like super jacked about it. It comes, but they're very small, and the writing is like a Bible, and the paper is real thin like that, like a Bible.
It
I'm
has
like,
to be
I
that small.
Cannot read this.
Well,
I'm
you're
not going
just
to
gonna
sit there and read this mini book.
You just have to buy one of those things.
What's that called? A magnifying glass? I'm not going to sit there with a magnifying glass to read a book that I could buy for $5.
Listen, you can sit here with a pipe and a looking glass and read books.
I could. I might do that.
It'd be a good, picture. That's about all.
Anyway, what was I saying?
I have no idea.
I don't care about those books or the appendices.
I just don't understand why, because there are so many
story
things
in the universe of Lord of the Rings, and I'm happy.
But there are so many things that you have been critical about, especially with us like being comic book people that want source material like written into the movies that you are critical about, and all of us have been.
But what does it matter if Gandalf doesn't come till the third age in the source material? See, that's where I'm differing here. Like, I understand if you're taking broad strokes against the source material, but something that minute, why does it matter? It just seems like it's overly fan obsessive at that point.
But is it minute when it's written in the story? Like, this guy does not come about until this age
that you know of.
It's written,
but it's a world, right? And if you're looking at it as a world, Tolkien told a portion of that. But there could have been other things that happened in the midst of that he didn't write about.
But why haven't you ever looked at anything else that way?
If you're going to look at it like a world.
Everything we watch is a world.
I have Lock and Key changed. I didn't have a problem with that.
Right.
Other shows have changed. I don't have a problem with that. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, ever. Unless it's just terrible.
Agree to disagree. Because there are things you have had problems with that have changed storylines.
Like Why the Last Man?
Yeah, Why the Last Man?
Remember how that was a thing that I waited for my whole life for?
Yes,
and
I didn't even watch it.
Finish watching it because it was so bad.
I didn't even watch it because of what you said. I didn't.
Hopefully they remake it somewhere decent. What was it on?
Well, the really sad part about that is that Brian K. Vaughan was involved with all of it, and he allowed that to happen.
Yeah. And then it turns out Paper Girls isn't very good either. So can they screw up We Stand on Guard too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they can. We're going to...
And
this Canadian-based show is going to be put in, like, South Africa.
And the weirdest thing about it all is Brian K. Vaughan is a screenwriter.
I know. He did Lost.
Yeah.
Lost is one of the greatest shows of all time.
He was one of them. I mean,
he was a main writer on almost every season.
Really?
Yes. I think he was one of the main creators of the show.
Can we just talk about real quick how J.J. Abrams kind of fucks up everything he touches?
And he's disappeared.
But like his production company.
Yeah, Bad Robot.
Yeah. They need to stop giving that guy jobs.
Yeah, it turns out they won't, though.
After you screw up Star Wars that badly, you just need to...
Step away a little bit. Maybe look at your life. Rethink some things.
Because there's a show out right now.
He's making a new one, too. It's something new. I just saw a report about it that Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams are involved with a big show. And I'm drawing a blank. I should have wrote this down. but there's huge skepticism about it because of his involvement,
Yeah.
which is sad. It's sad because he had done some good things, right? Like there's some things he did good.
Lost. I guess the Star Trek movies I thought were pretty good. They also do not follow any of the whatever, but I mean Hot Wheels. He's making Hot Wheels.
Love Hot Wheels. Had a lot of those growing up.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's going to be a movie?
Yeah.
Well, that's silly.
Why? That could be a great movie. That's a great IP to turn into a movie. Hot Wheels? You could just
What
make
do
it
you
about
do with
street
that?
racing.
Yeah, we got that with Fast and the Furious.
It's the new Fast and the Furious. Hot Wheels.
No.
The hot stays hot. The cool stays
It's
cool.
cool. Ugh, I don't like that.
All right. What are we on in time?
Hour and 40.
I feel like this is a good place. We're in a good place.
I'm in a good
You
place.
got more to talk about?
No, that's all really I had. There's nothing new that I've seen other than what we've talked about. I talked about Samaritan, Andor, Rings of Power.
I've still been trying to
Game of
watch
Thrones.
She-Hulk,
Yeah.
but it's,
How'd that go for you? How'd that go for you, Chris? Was that something just epic and beyond your imagination, like something so creative and just groundbreaking that you?
well, it is different. It's different than most of the other Marvel properties.
Oh, it's very different than most of the Marvel properties.
Yeah.
You're right.
But it's not terrible, but I don't know. It's just
It bothers me. This is being a spoiled Marvel fan
yeah.
of like great CGI content. It bothers me that they've made this on what seems to be such a low budget.
Yeah.
Why did Disney? They had to have like cut the budget for this because they did not get to spend money on this the way they have on everything.
Think about
else.
this though. If you got to make her She-Hulk like the majority of the time,
I know.
think how much that costs.
Think about any Marvel content. There is so much CGI in all of it.
Yeah, but this is a show, and it's not like it's occasionally CGI. It's like all the time.
All of the movies are CGI all the time.
But those are movies. They have $500 million budgets. This is a TV show.
Why can't Disney do that for a show? Why can't they?
It will affect my stock price.
I don't care about your stock price. It's silly that they can't put money towards things that are going to be huge. They're promoting this as huge.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be huge, but I can't wait
They,
to get
they
back to.
promoted it as being huge.
Can we
Like,
get back to like Falcon and the Winter Soldier? That was such a good show.
exactly. And do it a little bit more real. I don't know.
We'll see. Daredevil Born Again looks like it could be awesome. There was some
I hope
news
so.
out. There was some
I am
news
so
out that they
nervous
have
about this.
replaced one of the characters that was supposed to be in it was somebody, but now it's going to be the Punisher. The Punisher's in it. John Barenthal. He's going to be in it.
For real?
Yep. For real. Also, the news about this show
That gets me
is
very
that it
excited.
is not a continuation of the Netflix show. It is a brand
New
new
story.
show starting flat fresh, has no connection to the old show.
So it's not even going to be like tied into the same world?
No, basically not. Which I don't know how, because in the Daredevil show, it's tied in, because remember they were cleaning up New York after the Battle of New York?
Right.
But no, this is a complete reboot. Complete reboot with the same actors.
I'm not necessarily against that.
I love it. You know what? I think it's great.
Honestly, yeah. I don't feel like that's a bad thing because you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can do anything from that.
And I want to be honest with you.
As
I
long as-
love the Daredevil show, Netflix show, about as much as you can, but I don't want to see that rehashed. Like, I want something different.
Yeah, as
out of
long as
Daredevil.
Vincent D'Onofrio's in it and
Oh, he's
Charlie
in it.
Cox, like those two people are the only two people that I want.
I honestly think if you could lighten it up a little bit,
No.
it was too heavy.
Stop that. I want it.
Can we do like a Mark Waid version of Daredevil?
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
But they're doing Frank Miller, so.
I want it dark, gloomy, bad. I want it bad. I want to feel bad after I watch this show.
I just want that one scene of him like hanging off the crucifix on the top of the
Crucifix,
church.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I want all of that. I want dark and gloomy, man. I love it. Disney's not going to do it that way, but I mean, they might.
They could put him in like a spacesuit, and he could be in outer space. That's
better.
what they'll do.
I don't want them to do that at all.
They'll do it. They'll do it for sure.
I know they'll do it, but I just want Daredevil back in my life with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, because that dude can act his ass off, and he will make me believe and go along with anything he says, because he's better at it than anyone else. He's so good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. What's the nonchalant about that?
Well, I mean,
you know he's good. You've said the same thing. Like,
yeah, I think
that
he's great.
dude.
I mean, he's not the best part of that show, but he's definitely very good. Like Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is the best part of that show.
Yeah.
Also,
That's what I said.
The Punisher storyline in that show was probably the worst part of that show.
Okay.
They really screwed that up.
That I would agree with. Yeah, the Punisher show was good, but I do agree.
The Punisher show was great.
But the Punisher
his run in Daredevil was not great.
Correct. I agree with that. And I do think they need to lighten up a little bit on the Punisher side of things in that show. Because it doesn't fit.
They completely screwed that up. They went down like the wrong path. The story doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't fit.
And they could have done something way simpler, and that would have been way cooler.
And there's a lot of story out there.
Oh, for sure.
There's a ton of story out there with the Punisher and Daredevil that you could have went with that wasn't what they did.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Daredevil as a whole of the Netflix show, I think was awesome.
Oh, that's who it was. It was supposed to be Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones was going to be in the show, but they flipped it, and now it's Punisher.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I would have liked a good Jessica Jones.
Yeah. I still haven't seen the last season of that.
What?
Yeah.
You never watched that?
The last season, I don't think I ever watched. No.
Where have you been? What have you been doing? Who are you?
I'll get to it.
What's your name?
There's only so many hours in a day.
Oh, you've spent a lot of hours in the day watching nonsense like Cobra Kai.
That's true.
You could have been watching Jessica Jones and finished it. I mean, I think it's 11 or 12 episodes for the last season.
Maybe I did watch it.
We talked about it on the show.
I'm kind of curious here on what is coming out this fall. So I just kind of looked it up. 25 TV shows we can't wait to see this fall. I
don't think we're going to see Daredevil for like 2 years.
The first thing is The Patient. Rick and Morty season 6. American Gigolo on Showtime.
Deuce Bigelow?
Yeah. A Deuce Bigelow show.
Deuce Bigelow, American Gigolo.
No. Monarch. I've been seeing a lot of ads for Monarch.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in that.
I have no idea what it's about. Country music.
Trace Adkins is in it.
Really?
Yeah.
No interest.
He was shot 9 times.
Los Espookies.
Doesn't seem like it would be up my alley.
Oh, Reboot. Oh.
Yeah, that's about a show about recreating a show that was already on primetime.
Yeah, they're hitting those previews hard,
Yeah,
and it's making me not interested.
Silly.
Andor, obviously. That's about it, though.
You do. You need to get into Andor. You need to watch that.
That's my next go-to.
Like
tonight, I'm gonna watch probably Lord of the Rings because it'll be out by the time we get home.
Yep.
But Andor's where it's at.
It really is. Like I said, I only watched 1 episode. I need to watch 2 more before next week. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right, should we end it?
Yeah, I think that's it, man.
All right, guys. We may or may not be back next week. We'll see what the combine brings.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I brought up Harvest and the podcast. You're like, no, man. I can jump out of the bind.
No, I can. It'll be fine. We'll
do the pod.
We'll do it.
And I was like, why are you shortening all the words? Like, just say the full word. And you're like, no, man. Bind and pod.
No, I'll do it for sure.
Okay.
Especially if we do it like later.
Yeah, I got a park board meeting, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Just quit.
I can't. I should. Should. But I can't. I'm invested.
Like financially?
Yeah. It's taking up all of my money
Oh, no.
to support our park.
Support our parks. Do you ever listen to Protect Our Parks?
No.
It's a Joe Rogan. It's Joe Rogan, Ari Shaffir, Mark Norman.
I'm not a big fan of his.
Not really, but I am a big fan of Mark Norman.
Yeah, Mark Norman's
He's
funny.
in it, and then it's who else is in it?
Is it a show or a podcast?
It's a podcast they do on the Joe Rogan. They
thing.
call them Protect Our Parks. They've done I'm pretty sure we talked about this the other day on the podcast.
I don't remember anything you tell me.
Who's the fourth one in Protect Our? Shane Gillis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've seen clips of this.
Yeah.
With all of them together. But Ari Shaffir, I'm just not a big fan of.
Are you?
I don't know why. What?
Are you an anti-Semite?
What? It's nothing to do with that.
Are you an anti-dentite?
Yes, complete anti-dentite. I just don't think he's funny. He's just kind of more annoying than anything.
Yeah. And he drugs people.
He's a super druggy.
So I hear.
I don't know.
All right. So with that, for Snarf Talk this week, I've been Chris.
I am Jerry.
See ya.